16 governors at risk as Nigeria records 2 new coronavirus cases. 3/8 of course Bauchi governor tests positive as Osinbajo self-isolates. Presidency silent on the status of coronavirus in Aso Rock. Reps OK economic stimulus. Bill adjourns. Jack mass medical supplies arrives as airports shut down for 4 weeks. The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic yesterday exhibited its clout for upsetting human activities at the top echelons of the Nigerian government. Shortly after reports that Chief of Staff Abba Kyari tested positive to the virus, the presidential villa in Abuja was no longer the same. It retained all the trappings of a nation's power core, but ripples of apprehension had already set in. Meanwhile, Nigeria has announced 2 new cases of COVID-19 on Wednesday, bringing the total number of the confirmed cases in the country to 46. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control has disclosed the 2 cases were reported in Lagos and Osun. This is the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Osun State. The villa immediately began a gradual lockdown with a directive to non-essential staff and those who had come in contact with Kyari to stay away for 2 weeks. This was as 3 workers in Kyari's office reportedly tested positive to the virus, while their principal himself has since been flown to an intensive care unit in a Lagos hospital. A source which craved anonymity also said Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has already embarked on self-isolation, a reason he did not report to the office yesterday. The presidency further announced it would scale down the number of media organizations permitted to cover its activities. The decision, which takes effect today, is expected to trim the number of persons who visit the presidential villa daily, in line with the need for social distancing. But the impact of Kyari's positive test to coronavirus may also become clear with the passing days, widely regarded as the most powerful man in the Buhari presidency. His position meant he had daily contact with almost every important personality who came to the presidential villa, and coronavirus thrives on contact. According to a list drawn by the Coalition of United Political Parties (CUPP) yesterday, Kyari has recently come in contact with the Vice President, all the ministers, secretary to the government of the Federation, head of civil service of the Federation, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, all the 16 All Progressive Congress APC governors who attended the APC leadership peace meeting on March 16, where Oshiomhole's case was decided. Bayelsa State Governor, who also visited the president on March 17, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who also met with the president on March 16, who attended the inauguration of the emergency number 112 by the president on March 19, all staff of the villa and all the heads of security agencies. Others are all the service chiefs who visited him for the security briefing, all the heads of departments, agencies and parastatals, diplomats and foreign dignitaries, security personnel around the villa, particularly those close to the chief of staff, the family, personnel and domestic members of staff of Kyari, including his driver and orderly, any other friend, associate, a colleague of his who may have met with him within the time, every member of the presidency cabal who may have met with him for strategy within the time, President of Guinea-Bissau and all his entourage, and any other Nigerian who must have visited him within the time. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed also tested positive to COVID-19 yesterday following his contact with Mohammed Atiku Abubakar, son of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Mohammed, his family and commissioners have already gone into self-isolation, said Mukhtar Gidado, the media aide to the governor. The opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), meanwhile, charged Buhari to douse public anxiety by addressing the nation immediately on the status of the presidential villa in relation to COVID-19. The party said its demand is predicated on concerns about health safety issues in the villa, following reports that Abba Kyari tested positive to the virus. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary Kola Ologbondiyan, the PDP said an address on the situation in the presidential villa will further douse public concerns about the status of certain key officials who have not been visible in the last few days. It said Nigerians, no matter how highly placed, should adhere strictly to directives by relevant agencies of government on health safety measures, particularly as they relate to the isolation of persons returning from foreign trips. The PDP urged the Nigerian Center for Disease Control to move into the presidential villa and immediately track and isolate all those who had made contact with President Buhari's chief of staff so as to check further spread of COVID-19 in our country. The party called on Nigerians to remain vigilant and observe all health safety directives, including social distances, self-isolation, personal hygiene, and prompt report from medical assistance in the case of any symptoms. Also, the Senate yesterday adjourned its sitting for 2 weeks due to the pandemic of coronavirus ravaging the entire world. Therefore, the Senate resumes on the 7th of April, said Senate President Ahmadu Lawan. Also, the Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Ibrahim Oloriegbe, told journalists following the adjournment to discountenance reports that some senators who recently returned to the country from foreign trips tested positive for coronavirus. So far, there is no senator that has tested positive, he confirmed. Besides adjourning for 2 weeks, the House of Representatives yesterday passed a bill designed to cushion the effect of the pandemic, sponsored by Speaker Femi Gbajambila and other principal officers. The piece of legislation is entitled "A Bill for an Act to Provide for Relief on Corporate Tax Liability Suspension of Import Duty on Selected Goods and Deferral of Residential Mortgage Obligation to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for a fixed term to project jobs and alleviate the financial burden on citizens in response to the economic downturn occasioned by the outbreak of COVID-19 disease and for related matters." Part of the bill states, notwithstanding the provision of any other law in force in Nigeria, any employer duly registered under Companies and Allied Matters Act (CAMA) Cap C20 LFN 2004, which maintains the same employee status without retrenching their staff, as at 1st of March 2020 till the rest of the year ending 31st December 2020 shall be entitled to 50% income tax rebate on the total of the actual amount due or paid as pay as you earn tax under the personal income tax account cap C8 LFN 2004 as amended. Meanwhile, a consignment of medical supplies from the Jack Ma Foundation to assist Nigeria in the fight against coronavirus arrived Lagos yesterday. Jack is a billionaire Chinese tech titan and founder of Alibaba. The supplies arrived aboard an Ethiopian Airlines cargo plane at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport at 3:20 p.m. They include 20,000 laboratory diagnostic test kits, 100,000 medical masks, and 1,000 protective suits and face shields. This was as the federal government disclosed that all international airports will remain closed for 4 weeks, with exemptions to some essential flights. Minister of Aviation Adi Sirika, via his Twitter handle, said all international airports will remain closed for 4 weeks, as said, except for aircraft in distress. The following are also exempted, but with prior advance. They are humanitarian, medical, and relief cargo, technical alternate, and safety. Wow, this is great. Well, according to the passage, it says 16 governors at risk as Nigeria records 2 new coronaviruses. Well, as the COVID-19 virus continues, our prayer is that God should protect the land. There's nothing more we can say. God should protect the land. We should be prayerful, and we should just try as much as possible to isolate ourselves for the time being. The Lord is our strength. The Lord will keep us through. Well, I would like to hear your take from this, and remember to subscribe, like, share for more updates. Thanks and God bless.